Fight on, family. Preston's Paradise here. The morning after USC's 42-27 loss to Oregon. And yeah, man, gonna keep it real. USC did not play well enough to win that football game. And it's really damn near impossible to beat, a high level opponent, like whether it's a Notre Dame, whether it's an Oregon. When the offense is truly one dimensional. Just weren't able to run the ball the entire game, right? And we know how balance affects this offense. The offense is not going to be effective. It's not going to be as potent if it can't be balanced. And, these wide receivers made excellent plays yesterday, right? I thought Jacoby Lane to Nook Hines, even Mekhi Lemon, even though his yards weren't that crazy when you look at the box, when you look at the stats after the game, but he had an excellent game, right? 2 touchdowns. Love the decoy play. That touchdown pass to Nook Hines was unbelievable, man. I think these wide receivers really, showed their worth, showed their value yesterday, and the ability that they have. They played an excellent game. I thought the offensive line play was solid, but the running game was just really not able to get going at any point throughout the course of the game. And it's impossible, to win a game when you're really truly one-dimensional. On the road, you lose the turnover battle as well. That's another thing, right? 2 interceptions by Maava. Thought he looked very, very good early in the game. Obviously, that Oregon defensive backs, man, they did an excellent job. They knew, who we wanted to get the ball to. They knew the tendencies and, the confidence that Jaden has in these receivers. And they took advantage of it a couple times, right? 2 interceptions on the day. So I think that hurt us as well. Some of the penalties as well. Like if you're not going to be able to run the ball, you can't have some of those back-breaking penalties in those crucial moments in the game, man. There's moments in that game where I really thought there was going to be a momentum shift. You talk about them missing that field goal at that point, but then you get to jumping over the center, man. That was a rough one. Some of the stuff that we did on the defensive side of the ball, on the offensive side of the ball. Only 8 penalties in the game for like 103 yards. They had like 11. They had a lot of penalties as well. But discipline in a lot of those situations, man. Some of the unsportsmanlike things, we got some young guys on this team. We got some older guys on this team as well that, got to kind of be a little bit better than that. But I'm proud of the way the guys fought at the end of the day. This is a good team. This is going to be a hard opponent at the end of the day. And it's unfortunate that we fall, but looking ahead, man, I think this definitely will be a 9-3 team. I think we saw a lot of progress this season, man, with this team. Very excited for the future. I didn't believe this was, a CFP semifinal type of team. And the teams that we lost to this season, excluding Illinois, were CFP semifinal type of teams, type of roster, type of coaching staffs. And I can't necessarily be mad at that. Obviously, I'm going to say it now. Obviously, my 10-2, proclamation is I'm officially cooked on that. But I definitely think this team will be a 9-3 team. And I think we could get to that point next season, right? We'll continue to build on this roster, bringing in this new class, bringing in more experience. I think we're going to have a lot of contributors, a few contributors that were on this team this year, come back next year and, make us even better, create even better depth when it comes to this defensive line. And interestingly enough, we knew the running game was going to be an issue today or yesterday, but give up 173 on the ground, something like that. They probably could have ran it a little bit more. I think we tightened things up in the second half. We were able to get a couple stops in the second half, but the safety play was not as consistent as it needed to be. The defensive back play was not as consistent as it needs to be. And, the punt return, man, a backbreaker. missing that field goal, backbreaker, kicking the ball out of bounds, a backbreaker. Those are just things you can't do against a good football team, particularly when you're on the road. And then couple that with not being able to run the ball, not being able to stop the run. It's just it's not gonna happen, right? But another experience, man. Another experience for this team. Another experience for the younger players on this team. A building block for the future. A building block for what we need to expect moving forward. Our expectations moving forward. Maybe my expectations were a little too high for this team this season. I still believe that there was a clear improvement with this roster, with this staff, this year, with that Big Ten acclimation, with the growth of really knowing what it takes to win in this conference. I like what I see moving forward, right? Nobody wants to lose a game. This is not a moral victory. I'm not sitting here making any excuses. I haven't made one excuse about this team, about this staff throughout the entire year, right? We got to win games like this if we want to be taken seriously in college football. But this season has been an improvement nonetheless, like especially with what we've seen over the last couple of years. And I think these guys will continue to move forward as a staff, as a team, continue to improve, end the season strong with the victory over UCLA, and then keep the momentum going, man. Keep the momentum cooking. Gonna be interesting to see where they land in terms of a bowl game here. Gonna be very interested to see that. I think that's important, right? I would like to end up in a more notable bowl. I don't really know how it works. I mean, I know it's not CFP. People say bowl games don't matter. I still think they matter to a certain extent, man. Kind of just for the trajectory and the feeling in the program. And I definitely think you need to win that game as well to keep the momentum up, to keep the momentum going into next season. We've done that the last couple of years at USC. And I think it has, boded well and kept the vibes high leading into the next season and in the off season with recruiting and whatnot, with all that types of stuff. So yeah, man, a tough loss, but it's not the end. Still got a lot of faith in these guys, man. We're gonna keep it moving forward, man. Fight on. Have a good one, guys.